Hey, what's going on? I just started doing this new sleep hack, and it's been a total game changer for me. So I just wanted to do a really quick Facebook Live and share this with you guys. But I want to thank Dan Trussler. I saw Dan post about this a couple weeks ago, and then my friend Joe Gavin sent me a text, and he recommended I try this out. I saw some other people post this too, so forgive me for not mentioning you. But the first time I saw this posted, I just thought, what the hell? That's the weirdest thing ever. And a lot of people recommend me things, and I don't just try everything people recommend because it's just too much stuff to handle. But when I start seeing a pattern of things, those are the things that I tend to try out. So after seeing and hearing about this for the third or fourth time, I decided, what the heck, I'm going to give this a try. So the thing I did is mouth taping. So let me know if you guys have ever done this before. I also created a poll on this, so I want you to fill out the poll. But mouth taping is, you use like a medical grade tape. This is the one I have, 3M NextCare. And before you go to sleep, you tape your mouth. And the reason for that is you're supposed to breathe through your nose. So some of us naturally breathe through our nose at night, and some of us breathe through our mouth. And I tend to alternate, but I lean more towards being a mouth breather. And lots of times I'm kind of stuffy in my nose. So I kind of default to my mouth because I'm too stuffy in my nose, especially in the winter when I have my windows closed more. I don't have as much fresh air. I'm not getting out as much. It tends to really kind of clog up my sinuses. And the first time I heard about this, I was hesitant to try it because, I figured if I tape my mouth shut, I would not be able to breathe through my nose because I'd be stuffy, and I thought there would be a big adaptation period and all this. But it turns out the first night I did it, I had zero issue. Now, what I did was I put the tape on about 10 to 15 minutes before I went to bed, so I could kind of get used to it. Now, here's the other thing. I know a lot of people have nasal congestion, so I'm going to share a really quick hack that you can do if you always have just inflammation in your sinuses and you find it difficult to breathe through your nose. So what you want to do, and you can do this along with me right now if you want, but you breathe in through your nose as much as you can. Hold for a sec, then exhale all the way through your nose. Once you've exhaled all the way, plug your nose, you nod your head up and down, holding your breath at the exhale. You do that for as long as you can. Now, most people will find that their nasal passage clears up by 20, 30, 40, 50% just from the first try. If it's not open, if it hasn't opened all the way, wait about a minute and do it again. So most people are good by number 2 or 3, and their nasal passage is totally open, but you might have to do 4 or 5 if you have really bad sinuses. So back to the mouth taping. The main benefit you're getting from this mouth taping is you're increasing your body's production of nitric oxide. And what this does is this vasodilates your veins, so you're getting better circulation at night when you sleep. So more circulation means you're getting more blood, you're cleaning out more things, and your body's able to do more repair. So for me, immediately from the first night I did this, the main thing I noticed was I slept super deep, and I fell asleep faster than normal. And it seemed like next thing I knew, I woke up, and I usually wake up once or twice during the night, and I assumed I woke up and it was, sometime in the middle of the night. But I slept straight through the night. So it was really amazing. The other thing was, usually in the morning, I'm very dehydrated. I sleep with a glass of water next on my nightstand. And often the first thing I do when I wake up is I reach for that water and I'll drink, half of it, sometimes the whole glass, because I'm so dehydrated. And lots of times I wake up, my mouth is super dry. Sometimes I have just a horrible taste in my mouth. And that's because when you breathe through your mouth, you dry out your mouth, which is also very bad for your teeth, because you have bacteria in your mouth that are good, and they eat the bad bacteria, and they prevent tooth decay. But when you breathe through your mouth, you're drying out your mouth, you're killing those beneficial bacteria, and it can actually lead to higher rates of tooth decay. So for me, that was huge, just waking up, not having that bad taste in my mouth, not feeling dehydrated, not even needing a single sip of water, feeling more rested, sleeping through the night.
Hey, real quick, thanks so much for checking out my video, and I hope you're getting lots of value and learning some cool stuff. If you're having challenges with your health, I can help. The main thing I help my clients with is improving their energy at the cellular level. So I'm talking about your mitochondria. And what we know from the latest research is that 85 to 90% of all disease is caused by poor mitochondrial function. So when you fix your mitochondria, you improve your energy and everything gets better. If this is something that you'd like help with, there's a link to my calendar in the description below. Go ahead, you can schedule time for us to talk, and if it looks like we're a good fit, I'll tell you about my program, and if it's something you want to do, we can start working together. I look forward to meeting you, and now, back to the video.
And the other thing is I had less pain. So I tend to hold stress kind of up in here. And I spend too much time on the computer. And after, if I'm typing a lot, if I'm writing stuff, I tend to kind of move my head in, creates more tension in here. So lots of times I go to sleep and I'll just kind of tense in here. I'll wake up in the morning very tense. But because I was breathing through my nose, increasing my nitric oxide, I increased the circulation. I had less pain in here in the morning because I had better blood flow through these areas. So those are the main benefits. Trying to think if there's anything else. But the other thing nitric oxide is good for in your sleep is it improves your memory. So throughout the day, lots of times when you sleep, you process and you store what you learned during the day in your long-term memory at night. Nitric oxide is one of the signaling molecules that help that happen. So I hope you guys will give it a try. Let me see if there's any questions here. Let me just kind of scroll through. But if you're curious about it and you want to know, like, hey, if you have a question, let me know. I'm happy to answer it. Kathleen Kennedy does mouth taping. Awesome. What's up, Seth, Anastasia? Got a comment from Seth. For some reason, my comment window is very tiny, and it's kind of hard to read. So let's see here. So Seth says, yes, McKeon wrote about it in The Oxygen Advantage. Has worked incredibly well for me. So awesome, Seth. Glad to hear you're doing it. He mentions that it will help with nitric oxide production. Yeah, totally. So Kathleen Kennedy uses a different tape. She says she bought one that's more like meth, more like mesh, and it does allow a little bit of air. So if you're concerned about not getting enough air, then try the mesh tape. But I use this one, NextCare. I got it from Amazon. I'm sure you can buy it from your local drugstore. Tony Canuli says, when I was a kid, tried it, but not voluntary. I'm sure Tony probably had a big mouth on him. His parents maybe taped it shut. Just joking, Tony. But Tony, if you haven't done it as an adult, I highly recommend it. It's, and I've been hacking my sleep for a long time. So just real quick, before you do this, you want to be doing other things to optimize your sleep. So you want to be blocking blue light, especially at night. You want to be covering your skin. So at night, the sun's actually going to be setting pretty soon. But if I'm on the computer at night, I always have a hoodie on. I'll zip it up. So I'll literally, I'm very covered up at night. I cover it up as much as possible. I do try to minimize my computer or phone usage at night. And I've got iris running too, so I'm also limiting the amount of blue light that I'm getting. But so you want to limit your blue light at night. I have blackout curtains in my room, so my room is pitch black. I keep my room pretty cold, especially this time of year. So last night when I went to bed, it was about 60 in my room. So that also helps with my sleep too. I turn off my breaker at night. I do live in an apartment, so people above and below me, next to me, they have Wi-Fi. So that impacts my sleep. I can't really mitigate that, but I mitigate just about everything else I can. I try to eat earlier, not eat late at night, because that also impacts your sleep. So give that a try. I added a poll to this. So let me know if you're going to try it or not. Do the poll. Hopefully it's showing up on your screen. Now let me see if there's any other questions here. Dewey asks, am I sure this wouldn't just be masking the real problem? I hope you're okay, dude. Dewey, that's a good question. You know, I think what I'll do is I'll do this for a couple weeks, and I'll see if taping my mouth kind of trains me to breathe through my nose. But my sinuses have been much more open just in the 2 nights that I did this so far. So I don't think it's really necessarily masking the problem. But give it a try, dude, and just see. Let's see. Julie says, my allergies are so bad I can't breathe through my nose. Julie, if you just signed on, I did a hack to open up your sinuses. So go back, rewatch this, and everybody I've shared this with, it has opened up their sinuses. The other thing is once you start doing this, you're increasing your nitric oxide. It's vasodilating. You actually build a lot of nitric oxide in your sinuses. So by doing this, by breathing through your nose, it sounds counterintuitive, but you're opening up your sinuses. And when I was doing some research, just trying to figure out why is this so effective, one of the things I read is that this is very beneficial for people with allergies. So Julie, I wanted to encourage you to do that hack I spoke about earlier, and try to open up your sinus passage and do the mouth tape. Let's see here. Danny Skolin put a link for something. Danny, I assume this is either an article or maybe it's a link for the medical tape. Tony Canuli, I love it, Tony. Face dunks are very helpful for opening the sinuses. Tony, thanks for bringing that up. That's huge. So Julie, I think it was, that has allergies. Julie, try some face dunks before bed too. And that should hopefully also open up your breathing passage. Kathleen says, I was afraid I couldn't breathe through the nose, but surprisingly, it does open up your sinuses. Kathleen, I had the same concern. Let's see, Danny Skolin says, any tips with taping? Just one strip horizontally. Yeah, Danny, so when I was reading about this, some people say to like flip the tape under the edges so you can peel it up in the morning. And some people said to take the tape and press it on something so you get some of the glue off. I just ripped off a strip of tape and I just put it over my mouth. I didn't do any of that other stuff. It says, you know, carefully take it off in the morning. I just pulled it straight off in the morning. It's not a very sticky tape, so it's not like a duct tape or something like that. But it came off really easy. Let's see, Anastasia, not a mouth taper. Would taping still improve nitric oxide? Anastasia, the only way to know is to try it. So go out, get some tape, give it a try. Let's see, Janelle, agree, cold face dunks help. Awesome, another face dunker here. Love it. Seth says you can also get nitric oxide test strips to monitor levels. Yeah, Seth, I'm glad you reminded me because I bought some of those a while ago and I was testing mine in the morning. You're supposed to test it very first thing in the morning before you drink water or anything. My nitric oxide was very low. So I'm very curious to test it now. The other thing, so I mentioned that this improves circulation. So men, this improves circulation everywhere. If you haven't had morning wood in a while, you might be surprised by doing this that all of a sudden it comes back. I've given other hacks to help you guys increase your morning wood, but this is another hack that's going to help by increasing nitric oxide production. So I think that's all the questions for now. So appreciate everyone joining in and checking this out. If you haven't filled out the poll, do that. And if you're a busy entrepreneur, busy professional, and you're feeling overwhelmed with your health, you struggle with your energy, you lack the motivation you wish you had, and your goal is to create a lifestyle that gives you the motivation, the energy, the drive you need to succeed in your life, I have an invitation for you. So I want to give you the opportunity and possibility to see if you'd be a fit for my mentorship program, the Optimal Health Protocol. So in that program, I work with you hands-on over the course of 90 days. I provide you accountability, coaching, and guided support through 4 key elements. So element number 1 is self-image design. Your self-image is your mental blueprint. It's the way you see yourself. And some of us, when we're growing up, we've picked up some beliefs that are limiting, they're holding us back. They become a part of our self-image. So if you were a little kid and you had a mean parent or a teacher that said, you're never going to go anywhere in life, that becomes a belief in your subconscious mind. And it can guide your decisions without you even being aware of it. So lots of times we want to change, we get all excited to change, we try this new thing, we get some good results. And what often happens is something stressful happens in our life and we revert back to our old ways. And that's because your self-image, your old mental programs kicked in. So what we do in self-image design is we go deep into your mind, we identify these limiting beliefs, and we remove them. And we add new beliefs that align with the person you want to be. So you still have to do the work, but you have your subconscious mind running in the background, which is guiding you in the actions that you want to be doing and limiting you in the actions you don't want to be doing. So that's element number 1. Element number 2 is energy optimization. So I'm always posting stuff about your mitochondria. Everything depends on your body's ability to make energy. So in energy optimization, we look at your nutrition, we look at different biohacks you can do, we look at the proper movement for your context. We also look at different breathing techniques to help you optimize your energy, improve your mitochondrial health. We also take a look at your environment and we look at the things in your environment that are robbing you of energy. A lot of these things you can't see, smell, or taste, but once we remove them, you've removed a barrier to your energy. Once we fix your energy, everything gets better. Life gets easier. Your body can repair, can reverse illness and different things. Element number 3 is my brain-gut protocol. So your brain and your gut are intimately connected. It's also very important they communicate. When they don't communicate, you run into issues. So your brain actually controls your gut's ability to digest and break down foods. But when you have inflammation in your gut, which most of us do, that causes inflammation in your brain. And when you have inflammation in your brain, that causes inflammation in your gut. So if you get a concussion or whack your head or something, that causes inflammation in your gut. So once we fix your gut, that fixes the brain. Once we fix that connection, that optimizes things like your hormone production, your neurotransmitters, which optimizes your motivation, your happiness, drive, all those things that you want to be successful and feel good. And then element number 4 is lifestyle integration, where we work to seamlessly integrate these new actions to make them a part of your life, make them a part of who you are, so that being a healthy person is who you are instead of who you're trying to be. So providing you accountability, making sure you're not taking on too many things at once. A lot of people have shiny object syndrome. They try one thing and it's not really working, so they jump to this, they jump to that, and they never give things an opportunity to work. So make sure you're doing things in the right order, not taking on too many things at once, and just guiding you through the process. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, reach out to me. We can schedule a time to talk, see if it's right for you, see if we're a good fit, and we can take it from there. So thanks again for joining tonight. Let's see if there's any other questions. Tony Canuli, wood, how about steel? Tony, if you do all these things, you'll definitely have some steel in the morning. I guarantee it, man. I was shocked. Kathleen Kennedy, great tip. Thanks, Kathleen. Janelle, great job. Thank you, Janelle. Appreciate that. Emma Snow, Somnifix has great mouth strips. Emma, thanks for sharing that. So hope everybody has an awesome night. I'll be back soon. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll come back probably tomorrow and follow up on any new questions. Take care, guys.